Well, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It is nice to have you here today. I've got something on the table that's really cool. Unfortunately, these are not available right now, but if I know this company, they will be again. This is the Petrified Fish PF-P03, also known as the Victor. And this is an excellent knife. Now, I have a couple of other petrified fish knives on the table somewhere. Here, of course, is the Beluga. And this is the, what is this? This is the PF-919, right? This is the Beluga, which is the PF-P01, right? You guys have seen these on the channel before, and the Beluga is a very popular knife. Now, the Victor here is sort of something else. This one belongs to Women Carry Knives. She was nice enough to loan it to me so I could do the review, and I've carried it for a while. It is micarta with a micarta backspacer, which is very cool. Has a nice deep carry, stamped steel pocket clip. But the shining thing on the on the Victor here, the PF-P03, is this clip point blade. Look at that, it is just beautiful. Let's put these away for a little bit and talk about what is on the table. I like petrified fish knives. They're a little expensive, running between 40 and 60 bucks. But this one, God, look at this blade. It's just gorgeous. Now, my buddy Chad has one of these, and he loved it. When Women Carry Knives said that she had picked one up, I was like, all right, let's take a look at what you're going to get. And I am thoroughly impressed. It is just an excellent pocket knife. Now, the blade on this one is their K110, which is sort of fancy D2. It's true. The Beluga is also K110. Now, I've had mixed experience with K110 from other companies, but I got to tell you, from Petrified Fish, their K110 is very good. It holds an edge like crazy. It doesn't want to rust. It does everything you need it to, and that is really all you need to know. Now, I've had this for quite a while, and it is my sort of go-to, I don't want to carry an expensive knife, but I still want a really comfortable and good knife. The Beluga is that knife for me. The Victor here would be equally so, except this one belongs to Women Carry Knives. So, I don't know how you feel about the sort of blue denim micarta. I dig it. I think it's really attractive. I know blue is not usually my color, but they did a good job here. It's got just a little bit of texture. It's very comfortable. It has a fuller on just the sort of lock side. It's a liner lock, as you can see, and we're locked up at about 25%. It's nicely locked up though, right? No wiggle, no rock, no nothing. But it allows you, if you're right-handed, now this is reversible. You can swap the clip, but you can't reverse this, which is annoying. But it really does allow for an excellent flick. I suppose if it was this way, and I can't, my left thumb is too dumb, but I suppose you could thumb flip it from that side. Interesting choice. I wish they'd have put that fuller on, that sort of hole on both sides, but they didn't ask me, surprisingly enough. The handle shape is interesting. As you can see, it swells towards the tail end of the knife. It's got a little bit of jimping because the backspacer does rise up a little bit. It even shows a little bit at the back here. But it's very comfortable, like really, really comfortable. The other day, Women Carry Knives was doing some work around the house. I had to clean this blade because it was just covered in tape residue. I watched her cut up a ton of boxes, open up a bunch of packages. It's a really good working tool. It really is. Now, the way this is shaped gives your index finger a really nice place to land. So you just really lock in. There's a little bit of jimping right here on the back of the blade. The clip point on this is gorgeous, right? Almost Bowie, or Bowie, if you want to say it right. Nice, flat, good belly. Nice thick chunk of that K110 running on bearings. The steel liners are a little thick, but it gives the knife a really substantial feel. So let's take a look at what you get for your, and I think if none of these were available, they were 46 bucks, which is not too bad. These were available on the Petrified Fish website and on Amazon. They are all sold out right now, but as I said, knowing Petrified Fish, they'll be back. So you get A little over 3¼ inches of cutting on 3½ inches of K110 steel. The grip area from behind the flipper tab is 3¾ inches, which means my hand just about fills it up completely, as you can see. But for most people with normal size hands, this would be a really nicely, just a good size larger knife. Overall length from tip to tail is 8¼ which is pretty good. Closed profile is not bad, although, you know, it does have a little bit of a, with all due respect to Nick Shabazz, a little bit of a pocket pecker going on. But you're looking at 1½ inches, so it's relatively thick in the pocket. Just about a ½ inch in width, which is really nice. It really does, like I said, it makes for a very comfortable handful. Now, when I squeeze this knife, the clip does move just a little bit because it is stamped steel. But I want to point out that the clip is actually buried into the scale, right? And if you look on the back, there is a space on both sides. So you remove these 2 screws, and you can just swap the clip and make it fairly lefty friendly, although you can't do anything about which side the liner lock is on. It's got that really nice petrified fish. Oh, I should probably put it on camera. There we go, petrified fish pivot. It's got a nice sharpening choil right here at the base of the plunge. The grind on this thing is really well done. Yeah, it really is. Let's do some size comparisons. Line it up on the tip of the blade right there. Now we've already done it up against the Beluga, which is a very sort of popular and well-known petrified fish knife. As you can see, the Beluga is actually a little bit longer, but not much. Need a little bit more cutting. It's a slightly larger knife. What else do we have on the table that's interesting? Well, here it is against a Hogue Deca. Many of you have handled one of these. You can see the PF-P03 is just much bigger than the Deca, which of course means it's going to be much bigger than our Benchmade here. As you can see, and it's going to be much smaller than the full-size version of the same Benchmade. These are both Presidio 2s, excuse me. I really like these knives from Benchmade. Now the Presidio 2 is very similar, especially the small one, very similar in size to our friend the Bug Out here, only it's a little more substantial in hand. I hope they make more of these, and I hope they make them in considerably more scale options. I would love to see this in carbon fiber. I would love to see this just in black micarta or gray micarta. I really do like this knife a lot. I recently, in fact earlier this week, you would have seen it, I did a review on this. This is the Sativian ST999. This is Sativian's foray into sort of higher end knives. This is all titanium and S35 VN. I have to tell you, I would love it if Petrified Fish would do a high-end version of this. If they did a premium version of this in S35 or 20 CV, or you know what I'm saying, I would buy the hell out of it. I really would. The action is very good. It's got a little bit of bounce. It's got a very heavy blade. As I mentioned, it's a thick slice of that K110. So it will bounce a little on the drop, but I do got to tell you, it is very smooth. There's a lot of knife going on here. It's got a lanyard spot if you're into that sort of thing. Flipping action is never fail, and as I said a couple of times already, it is locked up tight as a drum. Really is very well done. Let's grab the calipers. Here we are. And see what they give you. The thickest spot back here, we are at 152 thousandths of an inch, or 3.82 millimeters, so nice thick slice. Because it is a clip point, you've got a nice flat up here. It drops fairly steeply down to the edge, but they have made this come down to a really nice edge. It's not a razor blade in the same way, like the Bug Out is, because it's a thin piece of metal, but it is very slicey. And watching Women Carry Knives work with this the other day, I can tell you that this K110, much like with the Beluga, holds a really nice edge. This has not lost its, well, you can hear it. Or maybe you can, I don't know. I can feel it for sure. The handle's reasonably thick, or as Metal Complex might say, robust. We're coming in at 14 millimeters, which is, you know, just over a ½ inch, so not bad. This way, at its thickest spot, we are talking about, well, let's do it right, shall we? 1.157 inches, so a little over an inch here. But I'll tell you, that just means, man, this thing just locks into the hand. This is a real working tool, and it's attractive as well. Let's go ahead and weigh it out. See how much pocket this is going to eat up. Some of my favorite reviewers used to have a cut-up pair of jeans that they would put on the table to show you how much pocket it took up. Maybe I'll start doing that. I don't know. 4.9 ounces for 8¼ inches overall. It's a little hefty, but like I said, the steel liners are pretty thick. That is 4.9 ounces. It is 140 grams even, if grams are your thing. I don't know. Petrified Fish has absolutely made a name for themselves. Like, they make interesting, weird stuff like this one. They make absolute phenomenal cutting tools like the Beluga. They make even a mini Beluga, which I have not had, but I will try to bring one onto the channel. I really like their work. We've had 7 or 8 of them come through the channel. They are reasonably priced, well made. They're usually very attractive, although this one's, well, I like it, but a lot of people think it's kind of funky. I just think they're just following this trend. They make big knives, very comfortable knives. And the PF-P03 here, or the Victor as it's called, is the same. It is a well-made, interesting looking knife in good materials for about a little under 50 bucks, which isn't too bad. It's not, you know, Sativian cheap, but very few things are. And I guess that's where we're going to leave it. The PF-P03 is currently unavailable, but I'll put a link to where you might be able to find one should they return. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I really have enjoyed my time spent with you here today, and I've enjoyed my opportunity to take a look at this. Thank you again, Women Carry Knives. If you're not following her, you absolutely should. Of course, I'll put a link to her channel down in the description below. Hope you guys are having a great day, and we'll see you next time.